Next up, at UFC Vegas 61, we have Julija Stoliarenko taking on Chelsea Chandler. Julija Stoliarenko is 10-6 overall, 2-3 in her last 5, coming off the arm-breaking win over Jessica Rose Clark. Chelsea Chandler's 4-1 in her entire career, so 4-1 in her last 5, but she's riding a 4-fight win streak into her UFC debut. Julija Stoliarenko is an interesting fighter to break down. She has a miserable takedown accuracy of 22%, but she is really slick off her back, and she's got a ton of submission wins in her career. Her striking is a bit sloppy, and she is very hittable. She's got a negative striking differential of about 2.5 to 4, but she's willing to brawl. She's got heavy kicks. She proved some of the haters, me included, wrong in her last fight because she had a beautiful takedown and then an armbar inside of a minute. The typical Julija is gets taken down, falls to her back, and then pulls off a submission. This was what you want to see out of a solid grappler. She blast doubled, got the takedown, and then worked from there. Chelsea Chandler is making her UFC debut. She's a powerful and well-rounded fighter who comes forward throwing bombs and then pushes you against the cage, and she works for takedowns. She's incredibly strong, and she uses that strength to rip her opponents to the mat and then control from there. She's not incredibly fast. She's not incredibly athletic, but she is tough. She's powerful. She doesn't stop coming forward, and she's got solid jiu-jitsu. Chelsea Chandler, when I did this breakdown last Sunday, Chelsea Chandler was the favorite. She was the minus 120 favorite. The line has flipped. Julija Stoliarenko is now the slight favorite. It'll probably move a little more, and people are probably erring on the side of, well, she's a UFC vet. Chelsea Chandler's making her UFC debut. And UFC debuts are always tough. If we go back to UFC Vegas 60, Daniel Zellhuber, the second biggest favorite on the entire card, just absolutely shit the bed in his UFC debut. Just, you could tell he was the better, more talented fighter and just wouldn't let his hands go. Joe Pfeiffer, also UFC debut, well, he blasted that dude, knocked him out, looked fantastic. So you just don't know what you're going to get. When I break these fights down, I just have to...
It's like a box of chocolates.
You just don't know. I just have to...
Whoa, what was that? That was a weird accent. I don't know. Okay. You gotta get Savannah with it.
Okay, leave me alone. So I just have to break them down based off of what I've seen. I can't project how well they're going to show up or not show up. And based on what I've seen, I think Chelsea Chandler can win this fight. She can get the takedowns. She can avoid the takedown. I think she's going to have better raw jiu-jitsu. And then the striking, she's just going to come forward, bomb away, push against the cage. So I think Chelsea Chandler wins this fight, but this is not a fight you should bet on. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I actually think it might be an opportunity to bet on this. I wish I would have done my research earlier and got the plus money on Julija because I think I would have. I'm always very don't bet on heavyweights, don't bet on women's bets or women's fights, but I think this is a perfect matchup for Julija. When I watch the Chelsea fight, she's a girl that likes to close the distance, as Angel mentioned, get in those clinch positions, and that's what Julija wants to be. A lot of Julia's issues is she can't get inside. She's a terrible striker. She's not a very good fighter, and I don't want to make it seem like I think that Stoliarenko is a fantastic fighter. I don't think she's a very good fighter, but in certain positions, she can be very effective. And in those positions are in the body lock clinch position. She can trip, she can throw people down, get them to those arm bars, and end up on top. And what I love against that Jessica Rose Clark fight was, obviously Jessica Rose Clark was very not smart in that fight. She came out way too aggressive, and that takedown was there. It's very, very good takedown, good timing on that takedown. But Stoliarenko showed quick hands, tenacity, pressure, and looked like she gave a damn. It looked like she came out, was aggressive in that fight, actually stunned Jessica Rose Clark, who is a much better striker than her, stunned her with one of the first strikes she threw, had a perfectly timed takedown, and looked like she actually gave a shit in that fight, which I love to see. And I think she takes that over to this fight against a newcomer, new to the UFC. And I think she absolutely dominates this fight. I think that they close the distance, they get in those body lock situations, and the experience takes over. Julija gets her to the ground and does what she does. I don't know if it's going to be an armbar. It might just be some more wrestling. Maybe she does blow her load and Chelsea's able to take over. Like I said, I don't think Stoliarenko is a very exceptional fighter, but I think this is a perfect matchup for her. I think the body lock takedowns are going to be there. She's going to end up on top and chase those submissions that she knows. So I'm on Julija all the way in this matchup. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to place money on her as a favorite, but I kind of wish I would have got plus money on her.
Yeah, listen, I think it's a close fight. That's why I said don't bet it. I do think if Chelsea shows up the way we've seen in her last 4 fights, I think she can get the takedowns, avoid the submissions, because she is primarily a jiu-jitsu fighter. We don't have DraftKings pricing yet. This fight is somewhat short notice, and it's short notice for Stoliarenko, not Chelsea. Chelsea was on the card.
They moved it to a catch weight. So somebody was struggling to make the weight. It's
I would assume Stoliarenko.
Yeah. So we'll see. Which probably should just help Stoliarenko. You know, you've always mentioned before. Sometimes you should force your opponent to make the weight. You know, if they can't make it, they can't make it. Then figure it out later. So kind of a gift for her to get that catch weight if it is her issue. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Stoliarenko on short notice. We don't have DraftKings pricing. The Sadiq Youssef fight is even more short notice, but we do have pricing. I think DraftKings is literally waiting to do the pricing. I imagine this is 8,200, 8,000, something like that. This will be a razor thin price point. I don't know if you should have either one in your lineup, but that's up to you, and we'll see what the pricing looks like. The Monkey Knife Fight strike line 42 to 61. I'm not going to play it because we just don't know what we're going to get. There's too many unknowns here. That 61 is honestly pretty high. And again, this could be 3 rounds of just slugging it out, a million takedowns and reversals, or one of them could just dominate their aspect, right? Julija can get the submission. Chelsea can get all the control. We don't know. Don't touch it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, both these girls kind of suck, so that can mean an early finish or they just lay on each other for 3 rounds. So I agree. Yeah,
we're not going to touch that. But if you guys want 50 free bucks.
But if you want to touch me, onlyfans.com/thefrecklesalamander. $250, I'll show up at your doorstep. I might be able to get arrested for that. I don't know if the authorities are. If somebody's watching going, I think that's prostitution.
yeah, that definitely is. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. We will send you $50. And here, where the hell are you?
We go.
Hold on. Damn it.
The Contender Series, everyone in the Discord. By the way, join the Discord. First of all, like the video. If you haven't liked the video, I just punched my mic a little bit. It's fine. Loud. But everyone in the Discord just hit a big Contender Series fight. We got to finish with 30 seconds to go on the big favorite. So we're all feeling great. Join the Discord. We're having a lot of fun in there. We do all sorts of stuff. This is called We Want Picks, but we do NFL stuff. We're doing, not us, but there's people doing it. So join the Discord. We just hit it big. Just hit it big.
And don't forget to cover premium member. It's only $10 a month. And Rachel Leah Carr with the comment just became a premium member after I won 2 different 8-leg multis from watching you guys. Hey, from Australia. We appreciate you very, very much. And we think it's literally the best value on planet Earth. $10 a month. Cannot beat that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.